Often, when we're unhappy with our living spaces, our first reaction is to buy new stuff, to replace the things that we already have, or to fill a gap that we've been convinced we have. Stores like HomeSense have a chokehold on us. The issue I've personally found, though, is that the cycle of dissatisfaction, seeking something better, and then buying it is exactly that, a never-ending cycle. So how does one escape it? What is the alternative? Through my experience, I've learned that the feeling of true satisfaction in the place that I live comes from striking a balance between beauty and efficient functionality. So in today's video, I'm going to share some practical ways that we have achieved this harmony in our home and how you can do the same in yours. A quick thank you to Linen for sponsoring today's video. Every category of item in our home has some sort of container, a bag, a bin, or a box, and when we acquire new things, we give them a container as well as a designated spot in our home. I'll share an example of what happens when I don't do this right away. My husband recently found a hobby in boxing, so along with that came the essential gear. Gloves, wraps, shoes, you name it, and he's got a bag of this stuff that has been hanging on the coat rack behind our front door for a few weeks now, and in doing so and not giving it a spot, it has one, caused visual clutter in the entranceway, and two, we can't open the front door fully because the bag is bulky and it blocks the door from opening. So right now I'm going to find a spot for this and get it put away. I'm reassessing what space we've got available in the home as well as which spot in our home makes the most practical sense for this bag to live. I'm going to start off in the front closet because I think that things in there can be rearranged a little bit. We do have some winter toques and gloves in a bin that doesn't really need to be in this closet during the warmer months. So I'm going to go ahead and move that to the wardrobes in our bedroom that have some space, and then I'm going to move some other items upwards so that his bag can sit nicely on the shelf, and whenever he needs it, it's ready and accessible. So a few problems are solved now. The entranceway is so much smoother in flow and that visual clutter has been decreased. So overall, my satisfaction with our entryway has significantly increased. I think little situations like this can pop up all over our homes, and alone, they don't seem like a big deal, but over time when they accumulate, it can really cause a visual mess and it disrupts the flow of our home as well. So that just contributes to less satisfaction in the places that we live. It's definitely a small thing to think about, but with some effort, it pays off in big ways. In my opinion, you really only need a couple sets of bedding that feel amazing and contribute to an overall feeling of serenity in your bedroom. If great sleep is your priority, then appearance, comfort, and quality all matter, but it shouldn't cost an arm and a leg to obtain. It is difficult to find an option that checks all of those boxes. I have definitely experienced some bad bed sheets in the past, so I'm excited today to share the bed sheet set that we've been using and loving for the past month and a half from Linen. If you're not familiar with the brand, Linen is on a mission to sell high quality home essentials at a fair price, and I think these sheets are a lovely reflection of that. With over 100,000 5-star reviews, it's pretty clear that they know what they're doing. Our Luxe Hardcore Sheet Bundle goes for 20% less than when individual items are bought, and what's great is that you can mix and match from over 20 colors and patterns to suit your style. I'm very sensitive to a lot of fabrics, so the softness and smooth feel of the sateen that this bedding set is made of has been honestly a godsend. And the lustrous finish definitely adds that look of luxury to the bedroom as well. I chose the cream bedding set and then the white and kind of beige colored stripe pattern for the fitted sheet and some pillows. I just really wanted to warm up the room and add a little bit of dimension with that pattern without, ruining the feeling of serenity that we've achieved so far. If you're looking for high quality bedding that suits your personal style and comes in a variety of options, I definitely recommend checking out Villena, and you can get 15% off your first order by using my link in the description. From the moment I designed our condo, multifunctional storage was on my mind because there is obviously limited built-in storage in our unit. And I know this is the case for most apartments and condos nowadays, but multifunctional storage can be useful even in large spaces. I really love them because they, one, reduce visual clutter in a space, allowing you to conceal items away, and two, they definitely enhance organization and provide many more opportunities for storage options. When we chose this couch that we currently have last summer, we chose the ottoman with storage so that we could tuck away blankets and pillows that weren't being used, especially, in the warmer months. We're definitely not using our fuzzy blankets and the thicker material pillows. So those just get neatly tucked away, and it helps to keep the area visually clutter-free, and it also keeps them readily accessible if we need to use them. There are so many other options of multifunctional furniture pieces like this, such as underbed storage, coffee tables with hidden storage features, and TV media units with cabinets that can conceal all of your electronics. This 2-in-1 feature definitely unlocks a lot of possibilities for enhancing the everyday use of your spaces. When I was buying a bunch of new home decor all the time, I really didn't have a great sense of what my own personal interior design style was. I was easily swayed by a pretty picture that I would see online, and most of the time when I was selecting pieces for my own space, there wasn't a lot of thought that was going into it. So I would just end up in that cycle of dissatisfaction, but I think that if I had been a little bit more patient in the decision-making process and really planned things out before I went out and bought them, I could have saved a lot of money and a lot of time. So now what helps me be more intentional when I'm considering adding something to our home, if it's thrifted or new, doesn't matter, is number one, considering how the item is going to enhance the functionality of our living spaces, and number two, whether or not that item holds personal meaning and can add some character and warmth to our home as well. Some examples of items that can offer both beauty and function are plants. They add liveliness to a space, but they can also act as air purifiers, textural trays and dishes to group like items together. You can also go with photographs that are of your family or places that are meaningful to you and are in high quality frames. And another option could be tasteful soap and lotion dispensers for the items that you're actually using every day. Keeping this in mind when I am out shopping or planning, the spaces in our home has allowed me to save a lot of money, like I mentioned, and also just prevent me from accumulating items in our home that don't serve an intended purpose other than being pretty. And by being more intentional about what I add to our home, I actually value the things that we do have already so much more, and in a sense, it also just increases my overall satisfaction with the spaces that I live in. In our home, we've optimized our spaces by purposefully placing everything that we own. From large furniture items to small utensils that we use on the daily, each item's location has been intentionally selected to reduce friction when using the space. Large furniture items are spaced out to enhance the flow of an area. For example, in our living room here, we've obviously got this very large couch as well as a coffee table. And when I planned out the living room, I ensured that there was ample space between the coffee table and couch to allow for proper pathways for us as well as our guests. And when it comes to smaller belongings, I've placed them in spots that make the most logical sense. Our pots and pans are conveniently located beside the stove. Our cooking utensils and spices as well are in that same area. Drinkware is located beside the fridge for obvious reasons. Our less frequently used items are stored higher up to keep them out of the way when we are using the things that we usually do on the daily. And additionally, we keep hobbies like games and arts in the TV media unit between the dining room and living room because that is where we use the items. Doing this has made our spaces much more enjoyable to live in because there is little to no effort required to access the things that we need. Crafting a beautiful and functional home is a process. I encourage you to start small and take your time with each decision. I bet you own a lot of things already that could help you transform your living environment. Sometimes it's just really hard to see when things have been sitting a certain way for a long time, and if there's too much stuff piled on, it's difficult to see as well. So in that case, if you're looking to minimize visual clutter in your living areas, I have another video where I share my tips for doing exactly this, and you can watch it right up here. Don't forget, you can get 15% off your first order at Villena by using my link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.